Good morning and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. I'm your host, Monica Adams. Hope you're having a great start to your Tuesday. By the way, I was just thinking about this the other day. We were talking about Exist Stretch with a bunch of friends over the weekend, and there were so many people that said, finally I got in and finally I understand, Monica. And I was like, that's all I keep saying. You have to get on the table. I'm excited. One of my business associates, he finally had a chance to go in. My husband, as you know, went in, and then there is a story that's going to be on my former station, Fox 2. Andy Banker did a story on Exist Stretch, and I can't wait for that to come out because they're focusing on our first responders. So let's talk a little bit about them. They have their first stretch free, okay? I know I've been telling you that, but there's always these different specials that run, and when they do those, you do not want to miss out, okay? Exist Stretch, a couple of locations for you, one of them in St. Louis Hills, one of them in the Arnold area inside of Exist Fitness. So if you're looking for a gym, I would highly recommend you check out both things, Exist Fitness itself, and then inside of Exist Fitness down in Arnold, you can step in and hopefully get a chance to meet Trisha, or maybe you meet Tim, both of them great therapists down at the Arnold location. However, the ones in Hampton are also wonderful. Justin is someone that my business associate Afan had a chance to get stretched by. I haven't had a chance to experience him yet. And then Claire. So if you've been in, let me know what your experience has been like. Thanks so much to Exist Stretch for being a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. And by the way, we're going to drop down below. Always keep an eye on our crawl. It gives you information of where we're going to be. And a thank you to each and every one of our sponsors. And by the way, this list is going to be growing in just a couple of weeks. I want to thank all of you that are always out and about and being our voice, being our advocate. Remember, I give you $100 cash if you have someone that signs up for a Mobile Monica, which we have one on tap today at noon, or if they become a regular sponsor. It's just my way of saying thank you for being, again, part of this positive movement. So we start our show, we do weather, we do news you can use, and then we get into our Testament Tuesday. And we're thrilled to be bringing back one of our prior guests. And she's a sponsor of our show again, Bridgette Childress with Childress Legal Nurse Consulting. She will be joined with one of her friends that started the Doll House Project that you may or may not have heard of. And we're going to talk about all of that today. We're also going to blend Bridgette with Jenny Gabriel from JG Optimal Wellness, because Bridgette wants to tell you about how she reached out to Jenny and how her life has drastically changed. She now has hope again, she says. So it's really cool. That's all on tap for you on this Testament Tuesday. So how are things going to look as you're heading out the door? Let's kick off with weather. We've been mentioning we've got this warm stretch. It starts today with dry weather, 90 degrees, and then a low tonight of 72. Tomorrow, we have 91 with just a slight chance of rain, down to 74. St. Louis City, by the way, in action on Thursday. It'll be 91, 40% chance of rain, however, and down to 75. Friday, a 30% chance of rain, and that just kind of continues with slight chances all the way through Monday. And you're going to see a stretch of 90. The highest I'm seeing on the forecast for the next 10 days is 93 on Saturday, 92 on Sunday, and then we're going to get into the upper 80s by the time we hit early next week, and down into the mid 80s by the time we get to Thursday. So not bad, and honestly, what you would expect for this time of year. We'll be checking in with our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore, coming up on Friday. Well, this afternoon, there is a meeting on tap, and it's going to address, and it's kind of a controversial issue. It splits by people who are at stoplights, or you're pulling up to one, and you see somebody panhandling. Some people say this isn't a good thing to try to block this because it's their only way of making money. Others say that puts them in danger and it puts you in danger as well. There's going to be resources that they're suggesting, mental health as well as housing. But the St. Louis County Council will be addressing this today to discuss a proposed panhandling ban at a special meeting again this afternoon at 3:30. We'll let you know the latest on that coming up if we get any new information coming up tomorrow. Okay, unfortunately, I do know people who have been scammed. Others, they want to tell you these stories to try to prevent it from happening to you. A scary experience. That's how he describes it. CBS journalist Matt Gutman said he was completely scammed after falling for a fraud phone call. And it just seemed absolutely real because he said he thought it came directly from his bank. In a video that he posted on X, he said he came very close to completely emptying his account after he received a phone call from someone that was claiming to be from the fraud protection department at his bank. Here's how he explains it. The caller shared a name, they shared a badge ID, before saying someone was trying to illegally pull money from his bank account. He admitted that he spent over an hour on the phone with the fraudster. They seemed to know so much about me, he said, about my bank account. And then they said, listen, we suspect that there is significant fraud activity at the bank branch where you bank. He said in the clip that they went through all of the accounts and actually had some suspicious activity recently in his daughter's account. Then the person said, what we need you to do in order to intercept these fraudsters is to go into the bank and withdraw everything from your bank account, which he said wasn't much money at that point. By withdrawing the cash, the caller said it would trigger the fraudsters into action, and that's how they'd be able to catch them. In fact, they went on to say not to discuss any of that with the tellers because they were allegedly involved, two fraudsters at the bank. Some of it started to seem a little out there to him. Eventually, obviously, he didn't do it, but he described this ordeal as a very scary experience and told others to be extremely careful, even if they consider themselves savvy. And I remember when I was in television and radio, we would always go through these training situations just like this. It's also, hyper aware of what you're looking at when you've got emails coming in and what to look for. It's a scary world that's out there for sure. Unfortunately, I know someone that lost a lot of money, and it just breaks my heart because she's one of the kindest people on the face of this earth, and I couldn't believe what she went through. She talked to Jim about getting the police involved, the FBI involved, but the situation is, if they get you to go up to that bank, or they get you sometimes to get these cards and they want the numbers on the cards, they then are telling you, the scary thing that he was saying is that they knew exactly where his bank was. And then what ends up happening, if he withdrew all that money, they actually are right there. They either break into your car or they rob the people. So a scary experience. We're telling you this morning not to be alarmist, but to educate all of us on what is out there. We always have this hope that we have wonderful people and kind people, right? We do, but then there's something like that, unfortunately. All right, let's talk about something that is already in Europe, but why is it not here in the United States? A safety feature now standard in most new European cars is often missing from the models sold right here in the United States. And some data shows front center airbags reduce severe head injury risk in certain crashes, but U.S. safety testers have not made the technology a priority. Victims of car crashes often recall such events happening in the blink of an eye, and when in reality, it takes less than half that amount of time, particularly when the impact is coming from the side. In lateral crashes, even when hit at a modest speed, it takes just 0.17 seconds for someone sitting in one of the front seats to be thrown toward the center of the vehicle, where data shows they're at higher danger of experiencing organ damage or even severe head injury, especially if someone is sitting beside them. A safety device designed to prevent that kind of injury was introduced more than a decade ago. Front center airbags deploy from the seat or center console to keep that driver from hitting the passenger side door or to prevent a driver and passenger's heads from colliding. And again, if you're talking Europe, even from the get-go, they could see, at least in the test, that they have a benefit. A technical manager for Europe's new car assessment program back in 2020 updated their protocols to the effect that these airbags are now standard in the majority of new passenger vehicles. These airbags do keep the occupants apart, particularly when it comes to head-to-head contact. But here in the U.S., there's an investigation that found the safety advancement is often only available in luxury vehicles or through more expensive trim packages. In many cases, it's not an option at all. And I'm going to tell you, from someone who went through a serious car accident, still suffers concussion symptoms, this absolutely should be standard. So I'm hoping they push for that so that we see that as a standard feature in most U.S. vehicles. All right, did you watch the Home Run Derby? Maybe you're a little bleary-eyed today because you stayed up for this, but I hope you did because, hey, look at this. The Cardinals. Jordan Walker becomes the first Cardinal to win the Home Run Derby. Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies and Jordan Walker of the Cards introduced before the finals of the Home Run Derby at Citizens Bank Park. Walker won with 12 homers in the final, besting Philadelphia hometown favorite Kyle Schwarber, who had 11. And I was listening to Joy FM this this morning, and I was cracking up. Nick, who I used to work with at WIL, he was really, really groggy this morning. So was Bryce, who works with him. And then Scott said, nope, I'm doing great. And right away, Nick's like, I'm guessing you didn't stay up to watch the home run derby. So happy to see that our Cardinals were front and center. So congratulations again to Jordan Walker. Let me know if you stayed up and watched that. So now it's the All-Star game. That's tonight, 7 p.m., the American League against the National League. And then we'll get back in action for the Cardinals. Obviously, this is why we have the break. The Cards, by the way, are on the road when they do get back in action. They won't be back home for a little while. The Cards play the Diamondbacks on Friday night at 8:40. Soccer today, it's France playing Spain. That's a 2 p.m. game. And then tomorrow, it's England against Argentina at 2 p.m. Getting ready for the quarterfinals and the finals coming up. Coming up this weekend, they have the finals. That'll be on Sunday. The quarterfinals is where Argentina beat Switzerland 3-1. I'm really excited about that. All right, what's on tap for our National Day of Calendar? I don't know about this one. National Nude Day. It's National Mac and Cheese Day. National Cow Appreciation Day. And I did see that Chick-fil-A is doing something special for that. So maybe if you go into Chick-fil-A in a cow uniform or a cow costume, they probably will give you a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. National Grand Marnier Day. I think that's the best way to have a margarita, by the way. National Tape Measure Day. And we do have a global observance. Today is Bastille Day. All right, we got you all caught up in things that we think is news you can use. We're going to take our break, and when we come back on this Testament Tuesday, we are reintroducing Bridgette Childress. So welcome her back to the show with Childress Legal Nurse Consulting. And then the Dollhouse Project. We're going to talk with her friend, Tracy Holbert. Tracy and Bridgette, my guests, when we return.
It's yours for $2,100. Wow. And that is how it's done.
$75,000 that quick.
Monica Adams is smart, disciplined, polished, and extraordinary.
She comes with enthusiasm.
This is what I love. Whenever we are bidding, it is always to see who you get to be involved with.
It is a great time. It is equally entertaining as it is advantageous for fundraising.
Get ready to scream your heads off because this is going to be a lot of fun.
She brings so much energy and so much passion, and she's a delight to have as part of our IWA family.
Start the bidding at $1,000 and we'll go from there. $1,500, $15,000, $3,000. Yes, there we go. Yours for $4,500. Sir, if you will also give me $4,500, you can also go. And there's $9,000. There it is! $9,000! Right like that.
She is so engaging and energetic, and she just brings a spark to any event she's part of.
I so appreciate the teamwork. After 5 seconds, I feel like we're best friends. I can tell she is a team player and she really wants to advocate for the organization.
Truly, you have the most incredible energy. And of my 15 years of auctioneering, you are one of my favorites.
I hired Monica Adams because she is full of energy. She always comes prepared, and she's the real Monica Adams. One of the things that I love about Monica is her ability to put a room very quickly at ease. She also is a very passionate individual, which comes across really well on stage, also one-on-one with her. She can set a crowd at ease so quickly. She has a very spunky personality and such a go-get-em attitude. I really look up to her in a lot of ways.
Monica, I really love the way you run this auction. I really do. You give them every opportunity in the world, and then it's all
It's off the plate.
Please consider Monica Adams as your auctioneer.
Unbelievable.
To hire Monica Adams as your auctioneer, email info@therealmonicaadams.com.
And welcome back. It's a Testament Tuesday, and we're thrilled to bring back a guest that you've seen over the last couple of months. If you haven't, we're going to let you know more about her business and check in to see how things are going with it. It is Childress Legal Nurse Consulting, and I'd love for you to go online to check it out. Bridgette Childress Legal Nurse Consulting. Again, childresslnc.com. You can check that out. Expert legal nurse consulting services. You can uncover the medical insights for successful case outcomes. You know, and I talked a little bit about that yesterday. We just talked about car accidents, and when those kind of things happen, it is a scary situation, and the last thing you want to do is go through all of it and have to do it. Don't. Let Bridgette do it.
Yes.
So let me reintroduce, if you don't know Bridgette, this is Bridgette Childress, and then Bridgette wanted to bring her friend Tracy in today. I just mentioned Tracy Holbert behind the Doll House Project, so we're going to talk all about that today as well. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. How have you been?
I am doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Very, very good.
Yeah.
So for those that haven't seen you on past shows,
Yes.
tell them a little bit more about your passion, because again, she's been a long-time nurse. She's a charge nurse, but it was on her heart to start this a little over a year ago.
Yes. So, it's really twofold. I want to be able to still impact, have an impact in people's lives once I am not doing what I'm doing in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I think when you have that heart, it just follows you no matter where you
Sure.
go, So, I work with attorneys. I take the medical records involved in any of their cases, personal injury, medical malpractice, and make sense of it for them, because it can be crazy
Right.
and unorganized. And so not only making sense of it and organizing it, but seeing, are there gaps in the care? Was standard of care provided. So it's very helpful to them and to their staff in providing that service.
Yep. So obviously for all of you, if you know attorneys and they aren't working with someone like Bridgette, we would love for them to do so. So what's the easiest way for them to get in touch with you?
They can call me. They can email me. My phone number is 636-698-3780. And email is Bridgette@childresslnc.com.
There you go. So we'll let you know more about that coming up as well. So here's the beautiful thing. I love when we have different people on the show and then they make a connection.
Yes.
I did not know this until I think you wrote me a text message a few weeks or so ago, and I was like, oh, I love this. So a lot of you know Jenny Gabriel with JG Optimal Wellness, who is on our Medical Mondays or our Menopause Mondays. Now she's on once a month. She and Bridgette both wrote me and said that they were working together.
Yes.
She, obviously, just like in medicine, she couldn't tell me from like a HIPAA standpoint.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I wasn't even thinking that. And there's a bunch of my clients that are like, oh, yeah, I'm working with Jenny. And I'm like, Jenny, you didn't tell me. She goes, I can't. If they can. And I was
Yes.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you reached out to her.
I did.
So
yes.
all of us women, you get to a point where you're like, I've had enough. I'm just so frustrated with these perimenopause, menopause, postmenopausal symptoms that you don't want to deal with it anymore.
Right. And for me, I wasn't necessarily having the symptoms.
Oh, okay.
That it was noticeable.
Okay.
Right. But what I have discovered in working with her is that the sleep. So for me, it's the sleep, but it wasn't like the hot flashes and all that. I just was not getting sleep, and I don't even think she knows this. But as I'm tracking things this week, like I haven't had that 2 to 4 a.m. wake up. Like I have been sleeping so much better.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Jenny is so gentle because she doesn't. Like, I didn't feel judgment. Because as a nurse, I know what I know that I should be doing. And to not do that, it's like, oh, you beat yourself up. But yeah, so I did. I reached out to her and I'm like, okay, let's do this for 3 months. And it has been amazing.
And you've not, again, everybody usually they reach out to a trainer or a dietitian, a nutritionist, whatever, to start a program. A lot of times because they want to lose weight. But I really hope that it's not, that is like the main indicator of why you do it.
Yeah.
She said she has hope again. Tell them what happened with your A1C.
Okay, so I'm going to back up a little bit. I have a great physician, and last year was diagnosed as pre-diabetic.
Okay.
And again, it's like, okay, let's try diet, exercise, everything that we should be doing. And I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do. I went in for my follow-up. My A1C, I'm going to let everybody know, was 7.7.
Do you want to tell them what it's supposed to be?
It should be like under 5,
Yeah.
really. So, I mean, for, and not anybody diagnosed with diabetes or pre-diabetic. So, yeah. So in working with my physician and some medicine that I will also eventually get off of, and then working with Jenny, though, it is down to 6.2.
Again,
In 3
A1C, and you've lost.
I've lost 18 pounds. I know. Yeah, I'm so excited.
You should be
and
looking.
but
Look
I
at the big smile on
feel
her face.
better.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes together. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Bridgette Childress giving her own testimony on this Testament Tuesday with Childress Legal Nurse Consulting, but then combining with Jenny Gabriel with JG Optimal Wellness. If you haven't seen her on the show, she'll be back on next Monday, by the way, and this same thing can happen for you. We all experience it. Bridgette also wanted to bring in her friend, Tracy Holbert, so we're going to kind of go back and forth. How did the two of you know each other?
Oh my gosh. We have tried to figure this out, and we can't like pinpoint
One
this.
time?
Yeah, I know it was through my sister, Maggie, and but probably just through the St. Charles community, LBB maybe, but I think ultimately it was through my sister.
Okay.
That we've connected.
LBB, by the way, is a little black book.
Yes.
For women. If you're not affiliated with them, they're wonderful. Angel Magasano, shout out to you.
Yes.
Wonderful human being. All right, so did I just hear you say 20 years or more?
It's been a long time. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to place kids.
Let's see. Probably 15 years.
Yeah.
15 years.
Yes.
And so when Bridgette was talking about coming in, she's got so many things she wanted to discuss today, but she's like, I would also love to bring my friend Tracy in to talk about the Dollhouse Project, which it's been around for how long now?
Well, a little over a year, actually.
Over a year?
Yeah. It's a culmination of the last 17 years, 20 years of my life, though. I spent right at 20 years in the nonprofit sector helping women and kids and shelterlessness and financial abuse and domestic violence and all those things. And I kind of had an epiphany. All of this could have been made better by money. And not the greed of money, but the using it as a tool of the secret,
resource.
This toolbox that only the elite have, or you know about after you've already survived what you're going through. So that's really the goal of it for me.
I love that. And so it's on your heart, just like it was on Bridgette's heart, to all of a sudden go, there's more. And I think a lot of you that are watching, or if you watch later, it's the same thing for you. If you're not seeing your passion carried out, please talk to somebody. Maybe you talk to a life coach, or talk to your family, talk to your friends. Carry it out. You will be so thrilled when you fulfill that passion. Don't you agree?
I agree, yes. And, when you think about the whole scheme of everything, it's like God, the Great Commission was like, go out 2 by 2, right? And so like we are meant to do life with other people.
Yeah.
And community, and that's what Tracy's building, is community and bringing people from the community and different sectors into this project.
Right.
So, yes.
So why is it called the Dollhouse Project?
I wanted to keep it, I don't know, I kind of thought about us kind of as little girls, and it's the irony that I didn't play with dolls, but, when you're little and you're making your little home and decorating it and putting all the little pieces in, we don't account for grief or loss or, maybe my husband's not going to be what he was supposed to be to me, and like everyone's kind of surviving. So I love that kind of play on words. And then I also worked with the great Jeannie Strickland from Boom Impact on my logo. I was like, I want Barbie dream house, old traditional, and then the middle of all like the nuts and bolts of what we do. And being in the financial realm, to have a hot pink and red logo is kind of unheard of.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your logo. You're seeing it on the screen
thank
right
you.
now.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that because people are so like not mad about it, but you're no one's going to take you serious. I'm like, why?
Yeah, why?
Because it's hot pink and red, and it's like, well, you're a financial firm, and I'm like, okay, go look at it. And I'm doing it on purpose. Everything is intentional and thought out of. And I like the word project because I think it reflects kind of those doors opening. Maybe you want to come and you want to get more at better at financial literacy, or your goal is to buy a home, or you really want to be able to take care of your parents when they're older. You can open the doors of your financial home when you need them. And it was also very thought out to have a front porch on it, because I remember when we were little, there was 4 of us. My mom would be carrying groceries in, and there was a neighbor outside that would, help parent us or sew into my mom, or I made 50 gallons of soup. Do you want some? And right now I live in my childhood home because we bought it from my parents, the same street, and there aren't kids outside anymore. It's kind of everyone's just surviving in their home, and it's not bad. But I think to Bridgette's point, it's not shameful, but like no one's gonna be, oh, my credit score is 500 and I'm getting a divorce and I've got X amount of dollars in debt. Instead, we live a facade life of the pretty things. So I don't know. I named it the project because I don't even know what it is yet. It's
It's evolving.
yeah, and we brought the people, like to Bridgette's point, it's the doors, we'll call them. They're honored by people that I've not been interviewing for 20 years, but they're the best at what they do.
Yeah.
Like anyone can have a CPA, but do you have a CPA that specializes in this, that does this? And then there's a physical therapist, and she's wonderful, and she's mobile, and she goes and visits the elderly population in their home, but also she's a pelvic floor therapist for victims of sexual abuse. So her door is very specific to what I know that I need for it to do.
Right.
And then there's education and financial literacy. I have a Spanish-speaking division because it was happening in St. Louis where I don't feel comfortable talking to a child that has to then translate their parents' entire financial future based on what I'm telling them.
Sure.
And to Bridgette's point too, it's not about me, it's about them. And if I can provide a safer vessel that they can receive the information they need to hear from, then I just want them to have it.
So, by the way, as you're watching, how can people find out more about the Doll House Project? What's your website?
It's the dollhouseproject.me. So when they log in, it shows them it's about their experience. But really, we have a large, I'll call it a movement on Facebook. We do whatever we want. We're having a Dolly Parton networking event.
Yeah.
We collected birthday cakes.
Wait, what?
Yes,
Dolly Parton?
yes.
Yeah, you're going to have to come. No, it's in October, and we were talking about stewarding a small business out in O'Fallon, Boss Beauty. She was like, I would really just like to get people in here. And I'm like, you know what? We'll just have a party. And they have to dress like Dolly Parton because why not? And it's going to be fun, and it's around Halloween. But it really is just that why we kind of forget we have free will. Why? Because we can, and we're going to. Yeah.
That's right, boss babes.
Yep. And we're going to bless people in the meantime. We're going to get back to a local homeless shelter in Troy, Missouri, and so
I was just going to say that once again, the Doll House Project. So it's dollhouseproject.me, the dollhouseproject.me. Now Zach was so cute. He was like, Monica, I was pulling some different information for today. Is there another Doll House Project in the area? He said something about like a police officer.
Yeah, there's a nonprofit called the Doll House Project where they help young girls advance like their STEM and everything. This Doll House Project is more just about kind of an LBV meets financial ecosystem meets wealth. I mean, we have a nutritionist in there, for example, that teaches you how to make 5 meals for $25 using the Walmart brand. And I love that. And that's not an us and them society. We can all log in and learn from that.
Well,
and
I love this
save
part.
the money.
Tracy actually said there was an article that I think you were in, and somebody said, well, what if somebody tries to do another Doll House Project, or they try to duplicate it? And you said?
I said, I hope to God they do. Like the thought
we are better larger and together.
Yeah, well, I mean, and what's beautiful about what it is it's mine. So it's like my artwork. Like they can take their own interpretation of it and bring, their Bridgette or their Dr. Amy Porter, their people. But what's the worst that's going to happen? Families are going to have a safe vessel to receive things. And I don't know. I think I take for granted that all of this information is on YouTube. You can go and find how to make a meal with X amount of grams of protein, or translate this,
but people don't,
or make a
as
budget.
We know.
Yeah,
and they don't seek it out. They need someone, and again, not to shame, but they want somebody to teach them and educate them and have the information out there for them without them having to seek it out. And Tracy's providing it to you. So again, the dollhouseproject.me is where you can go online. You can also find out more about Tracy. There were some pictures as we were going through, and I was laughing. And I'm like, wait a minute, she's at the place where I get my hair done. So how do you know Sherry Anderson?
We actually just did an anthology together. The book was called Shades of Scars.
Yeah.
And I was asked to be part of that project, and they were, CC said that I have a lot of stories to share. I'm like, I do, but they're not my stories to share. So my story was more of a kind of, again, like had that mother or father had different choices, maybe they wouldn't have had to have, that partner moving onto the couch or take that second job or work that other job from 10 p.m. to 2 in the morning because it was all that was available. Right. And again, not that us and them society, but a better job. Hey, I'm trying. I've gone on 100 interviews, or I've sent 1,000 resumes, and no one's called me back. Yeah. We have the Job Seekers Garden Club of St. Louis. They're part of the Doll House Project as well. So I can say, hey, Lexi, or hey, Bob, can I send you this resume? And you just do a quick look at it and see what stands out to you, or maybe even connect that mother or father to a job. So
I have the book, by the way, at home, but Sherry supported me in the book that I'm in called It's About Time. And then I didn't even know, all of a sudden it just like popped up, and I'm like, Wait, what? You're in a book. Why did you not tell me about this? So I did buy it from her. She signed it for me. Now I'm going to go in and read yours because I only went straight to her story and I haven't picked it up again.
And I've read yours because I got the hard copy from you.
Yes.
And yeah, I can't wait for your
I know.
whole book to come out.
Okay, look, it's July, and in that, I say I'm getting it out this year, so you better get on me.
Okay, the book will be 2026?
It said it was in that one.
Yeah, okay.
So you got to keep me to this. All of you have to keep me accountable. By the way, I am bringing some of the paperback books to our Mobile Monica today. We're going to take a quick break, but this is one of 2 shows that we are doing today. We're going to be at the Porch in Wildwood. Have you seen these videos we've been showing?
I have.
It's
yes,
a dangerous
and that's
place.
why I know. That's why I won't be able to be there when you're doing your live, but I will visit, just like the florist we went to. Oh.
Tracy, have you been to the Porch? Okay, hold on. Look at these videos. The Porch in Wildwood at 12 o'clock today. I know there's a handful of you that have already told me that you're coming out. So if you just want really beautiful things that are for your home or for your office, take a look, Tracy, on the screen right now. So this is as you step in. And I also love, there's all these different purveyors that they support that are local. So I love the custom side of fashion. They do the custom side also in the back room to maybe customize a chair, maybe customize different draperies. That changes everything, by the way. Window dressing changes so much in a home. But they also have really cool throws and then hides and pillows. They carry, as I mentioned, other local providers. So there's a balsamic vinegar and an olive oil that I absolutely love called 3 Silos that they carry right at the front desk. And if you want some chocolates, they have some of the best chocolates. How about this, ladies? Have you ever? The purses.
Yeah.
Okay, they're from a place in Texas. They're called Kelly Took. Ready for this? They have a lifetime warranty. You just turned your head so quick. It's exactly what I did. Have either one of you ever heard of a lifetime warranty on a purse?
No.
Okay, well, that's what they have there. Wow. And then, again, so many other things. Bridget walked in and complimented, there it is, my candle that I bought. So there's a few of them left. She can probably get some more, I would imagine, as well. But they're amazing. If you want to be ahead of the game, they do have the balsam fir, if you want it for, like, the holidays. So today, 12 o'clock, we are going to be at the Porch in Wildwood. Where are they? 16957 Manchester Road. I hope you can come out, or if you're like Bridget and you can't, go and support them afterwards because you're going to have a great time, trust me. My husband wants me to hide the credit cards. No, there's pretty things there. All right, we're going to have more with Bridgette Childress and Tracy Holbert. Don't go anywhere.
I love working here. I come in here and I feel positivity with everybody, down from the housekeepers up to the CEO. Our bosses actually get on the floor with us, help us out. I've been in plenty work nursing homes, and being here, it makes me feel very happy all the time. Being around these residents is amazing things. I might cry. Working with them, it's like my grandma and my grandpa. When I'm at home, and I can come here, I feel free. When I'm having bad days, I can just walk in here and boom, I'm back into a happy place. They make everything happy and joyful, and they all respectful. They do put an impact on my life big time. That's it. That's the best memories. Hey, this is my place, this is my home.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. It is a Testament Tuesday, and I love these. We started this faith-based component, about 3-4 months ago, I think? I just remember announcing it, and Bridget...
It was like March, yeah.
Oh, March, okay, yeah. So, and I remember Bridget immediately sending me a text saying, yes, please do it, because I just kind of threw it out there and said, what do y'all think about a Testament Tuesday? And you all were like, yes, 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 yes. And then she was like, yes, and I want to put my name behind it. I'm like, I love this. So Bridgette Childress with Childress Legal Nurse Consulting and Tracy Holbert, they have been friends for about 2 decades now. Tracy's behind the Dollhouse Project. So let me come back to you for a second, Tracy. The people that you're helping, how do you find them?
It's everyday middle America, and that's what's kind of nice about it. Sometimes there will be families that need more doors open and more opportunities, but for the most part, it's people like my husband and I, 35 to 45 years old, 4 kids, and my husband served our country. And, the VA loans and what does this mean? And, everyone shows you an interest rate. And it's just that other set of eyes. I think that, life comes at you pretty quick. And we don't take into account of maybe people being malice or malicious on purpose, but unless you're constantly learning your craft, you don't always know things. And I think back to what you said prior is when they come there, if they don't feel safe to go out and find the answers, I feel like when they arrive here, they know that we're all good people, we're all trying. Doesn't mean it's perfect or we're going to get everything right, but they know that we're on their team with them and not against them. We really want everyone to win.
Absolutely.
And I think,
go ahead.
I would say, because especially like the financial literacy, that is not taught.
Nope.
And so I'm 55 and I'm just learning a lot of things. So
it is, and we wish, well, and kudos to Tracy for doing this, but we wished that we were taught this younger and younger and younger. I remember a story I did, and I don't know if it was Channel 2 or Channel 5, but I went into this organization, and it was just so beautiful to watch all these little breakout sessions that our younger generation was learning, and a lot of the things that people are taking for granted, and it's like they need to, it wasn't taught to us. We weren't taught how to do a checkbook or how do you balance a checkbook. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I am without. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to care for myself. I know one of the things that Tracy's really big on also is helping widows or caregivers. And suddenly you're like, oh, I think I'm set up and I'm really, really good. And then all of a sudden it is, I lost someone. Or suddenly life has thrown me a curve and I'm caring for my elderly parents or grandparents or I'm caring for a child. And what am I supposed to do with all of this? And they just kind of feel lost, right?
And that's really what was sad to me is without those dollhouse, again, imagine what your world would look like. I mean, I have a woman that I worked with a couple years ago. Her husband told her that she needed to pick her father or him with his Alzheimer's and dementia. And she said, well, I'm not picking you over my father. So then she ended up having her children in daycare during the day and then adult memory care facility during the day so she could go to work.
Right.
So now she's paying for 5 cares during the day for her to have a job. So then she's getting 2 and 3 jobs. And that's really, it's not like our ideal kind of client, but again, that dollhouse, like who would have ever planned on the rug being pulled out from you?
Right.
And I think the days of just work harder, spend less, do more is really kind of shameful and not accurate anymore. I mean, there aren't enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
And it's not, and that's why it's really big about this isn't a nonprofit, it isn't the us and them or whatever. It's like, no, let's get all these really beautiful tools that exist, dissect it, stop putting Band-Aids on things, and let's get to work on like what we can actually, there's 30,000 nonprofits in St. Louis. That's a real number.
Yeah.
Some of those are functioning at full capacity, so we don't need more nonprofits. We don't need more tools. We just need to stop operating in silos to then know how to expose what's there.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Alzheimer's, by the way. I know you're really big on that as well. There's a walk in St. Charles coming up later this fall.
Yep, September 26th. I'm telling everyone to please come. I just beg. But again, in all seriousness, so it's another women's health crisis. It's $1 trillion type 3 diabetes type thing, and it's, maybe bold to say, but I'm either going to probably get Alzheimer's, it's going to affect my family because I'm going to have to be the caretaker of my immediate relatives or my husband's family. And then also, too, it's financially devastating because if you don't have living benefits and these things that can be put into place for pennies on the dollar in your early 20s to talk about it, then you're going to end up with family living with you if you can even afford it. So now you've got kids that aren't going to be able to move out, live in it with you, and then probably a 2 or 3 generation home because no one wants to talk about those secret tools.
Well, and just like having the recent diagnosis of diabetes, people, I think, younger people not really realizing how that will affect, okay, now if I do want to go get any kind of new life insurance policy, how that will affect my premiums, if I can even get a policy. So, yeah.
And it will. And that's when people get scared and they're like, wait a minute. I don't know how many times I talk to people and they're like, no. I don't want to be on medicine. I don't want to I don't even want to have a trace that it's out there because it's going to affect me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, the walk in St. Charles County is on September 26th. Where is it being held?
St. Charles County Community College, I'm sorry.
Oh, at the community college.
Yep.
And so are you looking for people to join a team that you have?
Oh, yes. We have a Dollhouse Project team. We have walks. We have, if they want to volunteer. Mary Williams is another salt of the earth woman, but every year we just keep begging. But it really is. It's an awareness piece. And I love that it's one of the very few walks that, again, are free to walk. And it's more of a march, hoping for in our lifetime to have a world without Alzheimer's. I love Alzheimer's selfishly after all my years in the nonprofit world because it is a cure. Finances can cure it. It is a money-driven, we need the research, it can be eradicated versus some of the shelterlessness or, other struggles that people have. So for me, it's like, okay, we have a dollar amount, we just need to get the dollar amount.
I've asked this on the show before because they have all of these different tests that are out there. Would you want to know if Alzheimer's was in your future? Because they have all these medical tests now that they can see possible indicators of that.
I would.
Would you?
No.
Oh, see? What about all of you?
Yeah.
I would as well.
Yeah.
My husband's, well, actually, we both have dealt with it with a family member, but my husband's father had it, and so I watched it firsthand, and so he always gets scared, and he's like, oh, my dad had it. Does that mean I'm going to? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, would you want to know? No.
Yeah.
So he says no.
Because
tell me, drop a comment in. Would you
Yeah.
want to know?
I would want to be prepared. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe
a little bit. Like, okay. Like,
now she's changing her tune.
I just don't want a hard yes because I don't want it to change how I live my day-to-day life, knowing that it's like almost knowing like your end date or something. Like, oh.
But if
how
you
many
knew your
days?
end date, see, this is why.
Yeah.
If you knew your end date, would you level your life up?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely be doing.
Because now there's all these medical tests that are showing indicators of cancer as well. And so I asked that question also. Would you want to know that? My answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Only because I'm a mother, but it's also like
exactly.
I'm, I feel like every day I tease with Bridgette. It's like I got to talk about my cortisol belly fat. You got pelvic floor. You got all this. It's like all of this is not good for any of that because it's just not to live like naively, but I really do like to just kind of enjoy my time.
Well, you'll find it interesting. Our guest that was on yesterday, we were talking about, and I don't think a lot of people think about this, your teeth and your gum care and how it affects your microbiome and your gut health. But it was all these studies that were leading to Alzheimer's and cancer, diabetes, different big time, you understand as a nurse, that they're not taking care of their gums and their teeth. So he was hoping that more general practitioners and medical doctors would team up with dentists and those in the dental industry to understand that it starts here many times.
I mean, there are it's like, the old coloring book, connect, the dots. It's like if all the practitioners would come together and connect the dots, I mean, we are a whole body.
Yep.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Stephanie, let me see what she just said here. Stephanie said, listening from Arizona, moved here with the love of my life. Well, thank you, Stephanie. Did you just find us today? I love it. We had somebody from Africa the other day.
Get out.
We've had people from Ireland, and we're going global,
I
Bridgette.
love that, Monica. Yeah, that's awesome.
So again, Childress Legal Nurse Consulting, and she wanted to tell again more about this aha moment. So I know that you feel amazing. I love the fact that you said I have hope now. So did you feel lost before you started working with Jenny?
I did, because again, I knew somewhat really what to do, right? But and Tracy and I were talking about that. It's like having that professional person that does it all the time. And, it's not that Jenny and I we talk once a week, once every 2 weeks, but one, there's the accountability. So I feel like I have more knowledge, even as a nurse. You think you would have all the knowledge but I do, because also like I can see the road and the path and it's widening, and so
I love it. And again, we've said this so many times on the show. I don't want all of you to just deal with the symptoms, because many times people do go to their doctors and they're just told this is a part of life.
And I do, Jenny and I really talked about this. And again, the thing I love about her is that there is no shame. I am taking extremely small steps. I've gotten big results from it, I feel. But, just incorporating beats. I love beats.
Did you before or no?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, did you just figure out that you liked it?
No, and she's given me the resources. I get my produce now from a local produce, and
Did she introduce you to the Yucca app? Everybody that I know works with her said that they are in love with this thing. Oh, not yet?
I think she probably
you
has.
Would know. Because she just shook her head. See? Everybody loves the Yucca app.
Jenny's probably going to watch this and be like, Bridgette, I told you.
By the way, if you have not seen Jenny on the show, jgoptimalwellness.com. And she actually is just getting ready to start a menopause audit. So be looking on her social media and on her website for more information about that. So yeah, she can work with you one-on-one. She can work with you in like a smaller group. group.
Yes.
But it is, I think the overarching message here is don't go at this alone.
No.
And you mentioned earlier, Tracy, because we all get frustrated. You're going along, you're like, this isn't how my body is. Why is this happening to me? Where's this belly fat coming from? Why am I sluggish? And you didn't have it, which I love, but a lot of us dealt with either hot flashes or night sweats or that 2 to 4 a.m. wake up. Why am I up again?
Yes.
Why can't I shut my brain off? Brain fog. All of these things. Please don't think you have to deal with them.
Right. And that, the brain fog, and just the bloating and it just
inflammation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
So again, that's her testament that she was like, and the great thing is you're keeping the progress, and so it excites you, and you just keep going and keep going. She's not going to give up. You're not going to just do it and then give up on yourself again.
Exactly. And, so I was telling Jenny on our call last week. So my husband and I, we live in O'Fallon, Pantera's Pizza for us as a kid, because it was in the
Florissant.
Right. So there's one in O'Fallon.
I know.
And we saw somebody in our Facebook group in our subdivision posted something about it, and we're like, let's go get a pizza. And I was telling Jenny about that. She goes, it's okay, 80-20. And I'm like, oh, that's right. So, yeah. And I enjoyed that pizza.
It's incredible. Do you all know Pantera's? Yes, we grew up with it in Florissant. I have been to that one, and I got a chicken and jalapeno pizza. So see, my personal training mind still thinks we're trying to get healthier.
Okay, good for you.
What did you get?
We had onion, green pepper, and Italian sausage.
Okay. Yes, the 80-20 life.
Yeah.
It is not to shame yourself, by the
Right.
way.
And while we were waiting for the pizza, because we went in and ordered it and then took it home, and we played some pinball, and it just brought me
They
back.
have the old school salad bar too, don't they?
Yes.
Yes. It's a better time. All right, we're going to take our final break. We're going to make sure that you know everything about the Dollhouse Project, how to find Tracy, and how to find Bridgette as well. And then one more time, it's one of 2 shows that we have on tap today. I hope to see you later this afternoon. If not, we have a cool Testament Tuesday coming up next week that I know you're also going to want to know about. You ever make a trip to Washington, Missouri?
Oh, of course.
Have you heard of Coconut Grove Boutique?
No, but I should.
You will in a second.
Okay.
All right, don't go anywhere. We'll have more of the show to continue. Nope.
Most places you walk into, you look around, you nod, not here. You could try anything. Woo! Only 3 minutes in here, I'm already gassed. Check this bad boy out. It's a swim spa. Let's go. This is called the Sweaty Goat. This is where I get my demons out. Whether it's a hot tub, a swim spa, a sauna, or a cold tub, you come in here and you could try it and you pick what you want. 1,000 more STL. And tell them Cam sent you.
Don't you just love our St. Louis Blues players? And I love the fact that he had that little squeaky toy there at the end. That was Cam Jansen, former St. Louis Blues player. And thank you to Spas and More, big part of the wellness. Bridgette just asked me, did I have the hot tub yet? Next Friday.
Okay.
She's very excited. All of you are so invested in this,
I
which
know.
is what I love. It is. It's the overall wellness component to keep our bodies the way they're supposed to be moving. Okay, Coconut Grove Boutique. Yes, you just asked. We did a show at Oak and Front in Washington, Missouri. And when I put that reel together, I had so many people reach out to me, including this. So you like resorts, I'm sure. You like to feel like you're on vacation. Like they're at a resort. They have some of the coolest products, by the way. So I know a lot of people like this particular brand of clothes. So they said that some of the brands that they have, as well as some of the things that they have for your body that people come in for specifically. So that brand is THML. And then Farm and Sea, which I have a body wash and also a really cool moisturizer.
Oh, okay.
It's called Farm and Sea. And then the other one that she said people come in for is this True Ocean that people are loving as well. But it's the clothes. It is the clothes for women. It's the clothes for men. I love just like luau style kind of clothes because you just feel like you're always on vacation. So that's the entire place. And I can't wait for you to see the before and after of what the place looked like and what it turned into. However, Bridgette, from a faith standpoint, you all do not want to miss next Tuesday's Testament Tuesday because this woman, Tracy, you're talking about being hit after hit after hit, knocked down, knocked down, knocked down. I cannot believe what she's went through. Very easily, she could be recluse, not ever wanting to see anybody, not trusting the world, not having any faith at all. I cannot believe what she's gone through. I mean, to damage your spirit.
Really?
However, this woman has the biggest smile on her face and decided, well, God decided, to tell her to open a boutique. That was never, ever, ever in the cards for her. In fact, she did hair for like 20-something years.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, where'd the boutique come from? And I was like, never mind, God. So coconutgboutique.com. We're going to have them on a Testament Tuesday next week. So I'm really, really excited about that. Yeah, we just love the faith component of how our lives do this and then finally find that straight and narrow.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody at work. They asked me about my tattoo. It says Jesus, and you look at it this way, it's a cross. This way is Jesus, and then her and I had this really beautiful conversation. And I said, because she's like, not many people talk about their faith at work, and I said, well, that's first and foremost. Like, I can't separate my life, in it. I mean, I know we have the Dollhouse Project is components, right? But like, God is everywhere. So he's in every part of my life, in the business, in, build sobriety, in my medical stuff, just in everything. Like,
and the great thing is that more and more people are not ashamed to talk about it.
Right.
Where in the past, I mean, growing up,
yes,
we grew up in a Catholic household and we went to Catholic school and went to Catholic high school as well, but it wasn't regularly spoken about.
Right.
It was like you went to school, and then nobody was talking about it.
It was separated.
And now, well, we didn't have social media back then, but now everybody's all over social media, and it's just a beautiful thing to where it's unapologetic. I hope it is. And I think that's the movement that is taking place in our world, which is a really beautiful thing to watch. Let me ask this, before we wrap up. What are each of you most proud of that each are doing?
Oh, you want to go first? You want me to?
You.
Okay. I am proud that Tracy, as like she said, and you said, unapologetically bringing community together and opening the conversation and not keeping it hush-hush, taboo, because, just in general, money, abuse, whatever, it's not talked about.
Right.
So I think that the awareness that Tracy is bringing is, what's the word I'm looking for? Exposing yourself in a way, like you're making yourself vulnerable to people. And so I'm really proud that she is doing this without questioning, should I, like you're just doing it. Like, you're just bulldozing through it all.
Grab the reins and go.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And then Tracy, what about for your friend?
Well, I'm really proud of Bridgette. I think right before she had just started legal nurse consulting and kind of going about the idea, and then watching her go for it. And she, kind of checks and balance, like, I think I can do this, and I think there's a need, and absolutely there's a need, and it's you're still protecting people and serving them in a way that needs to be done, and it's not typical. It's not, and what I'm also really proud of Bridgette for is I've watched her grow and put herself out there, but then also she's still finding a way to help others to, like she's even volunteered to go in with me to some places that offer care for patients and help do that preventative work, teach the nurses and healthcare providers ahead of time better practices to not only like mitigate loss, but to do a better job of those that they're serving. So I think that you are just starting to see the ripples of what you're actually creating. I'm very proud of that.
Thanks.
Let me ask this, Bridgette, because again, she said medical malpractice, accidents, things like that. So when someone is in an accident and they start to deal with, I got to get a hold of the doctor, I got to get a hold of a chiropractor, I got to do physical therapy. There's so many levels. I will tell you this, and this is why eventually my husband had to talk me into turning it over to an attorney. And it was from the insurance side alone. I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. I am not suing somebody. He's like, it's not, honey. It's let the insurance companies figure it out. But for me, it was triggering my concussion symptoms by getting stressed out of, okay, why is this not getting any better? And so originally it was, okay, I went to the doctor, and then it was MRIs and ultrasounds, and all this have to be done. And then, okay, now you're going to go to physical therapy. Then physical therapy went to vestibular therapy. Vestibular therapy went to, I think it's in your eyes. And I'm like, eyes? And it was glasses that I had to have for the concussion symptoms. Oh. But what Jim watched happen was stressing out, triggering the symptoms.
Yes.
You take that off our plates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's, like you said, there's, there are resources then that I can guide you to, whether it is a chiropractor or an attorney, and so that you're not dealing with this. Because you really don't want to deal with that.
I'm telling you
anyway.
firsthand. Nope. I did until I didn't. But I had to have, so I needed you in my corner back then.
Yeah.
I had to have my husband at some point after doing it on my own for 3 or 4 months. And I look at those 3 or 4 months and I went through probably the worst of the symptoms because it was stressful. I mean, you're dealing with your day-to-day life. You're dealing with trying to be the person you're supposed to be, and then all of this stuff is on the side that just felt overwhelming.
Exactly. And you want to really start. A lot of people think, well, I need to go to the attorney and then I'll start maybe going to the chiropractor or, the physical therapy. It's like, start that now.
Yep. Yeah, I would hope that you would take care of your body first. That you have to put yourself first. All right, one more time. For those, and again, I hope that it doesn't happen to you, but when it does, you know that she can be in your corner. So it's childresslnc.com. Again, Bridgette Childress, legal nurse consulting. And then the Dollhouse Project, to find more about what great work Tracy's doing, it's thedollhouseproject.me. Yes. So I love your colors. So we're looking at it again. The hot pink and the red. It is in your face, right? And it needs to be. So you can follow her on social media as well, find out more about what they're doing. And then don't forget about the Alzheimer's Walk. They would love for you to be involved, get involved with the Dollhouse Project, their own walk that they're doing, maybe volunteer, coming up in St. Charles at the community college on September 26th, right? All right, so do we want to let her pick the devotional?
Yes.
All right, so at the end of every one of our shows, Tracy, we have our guests pick what they feel after what we talked about today and just what the world is feeling. They are 100 Days to Freedom books, okay? So do we feel like we need 100 Days to Freedom from shame, depression, anger, overeating, healing, which would be 100 days of healing, or there is fear and anxiety, which we've gone through, by the way, 100 days of those. And it seems like everybody picked it in the past. But one more time, shame, depression, anger, overeating, fear and anxiety, or healing.
I think I'll pick shame because I think that shame goes with a lot of the topics we covered today.
Okay, absolutely. All right, we're going to wrap up the show. 100 Days to Freedom from Shame. Remind you again where we're going to be today at noon, and then we're going to talk about our friends over at Garden View Care Centers. If you didn't see last Friday's Foodie Friday, I finally got the recipe, and if you want it, I will share it with anybody that wants it. It's the best tomato soup you'll ever have in your life.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not saying that the other chefs didn't do a great job because the beef tenderloin was amazing, the baby back ribs were amazing, the salad, the cookies, and everything, but that dang tomato soup I can't stop talking about. So
I need to go back and rewatch some of your shows.
Yeah, well, the way to do that, by the way, is to make sure that you also subscribe to our YouTube channel, because a lot of you might follow on Facebook or Instagram or X or Rumble, Twitch, LinkedIn, etc. But YouTube is where the whole library of shows are. And I just had someone looking for a show we did back in March, and she's like, I wanted to use this with our company, and it's not there. And I'm like, yeah, Meta gets rid of shows after 30 days. So we went back and found it. Zach, thank you for finding it for him, by the way.
Awesome.
It was a show we did on the Fox Theater, and we had to go back to YouTube to find it. So yes, go to our YouTube page. Just type in The Real Monica Adams. All right, ladies, thank you. We're going to do shame. All right, shame, 100 Days to Freedom. We're breaking you from shame when we return.
What if you could start feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. No commute, no appointments, just warmth, relief whenever you need it. Sore muscles recover faster, tight joints loosen up, tension you carry all day, gone. relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
What a great show. Wonderful women. And if you just are tuning in, you missed a wonderful one. So go back, watch the show, and then share it with your friends and family. So Tracy picked 100 Days to Freedom from Shame. I always love when these are chosen, and then we see how much it connects with what we talked about today. So it's called Stay With It, Day 51. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. That's James 1, verse 12, by the way. Occasionally, someone who has sinned greatly will bemoan the difficulty he's facing as if some great unwarranted trial has come into his life. He'll hang his head and say, I'm really going through a hard time, as if to elicit sympathy. Well, the truth is, he is reaping what he sows. The only reason he is mired in difficulty is because he made a horrendous moral choice. A single sin can populate our lives with trouble. For example, an affair can crash your marriage, turn your children against you, cost you the respect of your friends. And if you happen to be in ministry or another line of work where reputation is of supreme importance, it could cost you your career. Even if you repent quickly and get your life back on track, you'll still be trying to clean up the mess you've made for a long time. That just makes me think of the big Jumbotron and the Coldplay concert. We all know what happened there. It could take months or even years to regain the trust of those who feel betrayed by your actions. So maybe that's where you are right now, in the aftermath of your sin. You've repented, but you're not even close to having the mess cleaned up, and maybe the whole process is starting to get you down. You're frustrated that the people who are important to you aren't coming around as quickly as you hoped they would. Your sin wasn't a trial, it was a choice. But now you are facing a trial that of remaining steadfast and patient while things move slowly. So consider this feeling of frustration and impatience a test of the sincerity of your repentance. If you humbly acknowledge that you and you alone are the cause of this trouble and determined to work through the process of restoration, however long it takes, healing will eventually come. You just have to stay with it. And that's probably one of the hardest things. Henry Ford said, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it.
Oh, I like that.
I know, right? Yeah. Here's your prayer for today. Dear Father, forgive me when I act as though the pain of my sin is an imposition unfairly thrust upon me. Help me patiently work through the process of restoration, however long it takes. Shame.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shame, but, and that's the other thing. I learned something, I think, about a year or so ago, because it's very easy to go, oh, shame on you, right? Mm-hmm. I've completely erased those words from my vocabulary.
Yes.
To shame on us or shame, like, if either one of these ladies did something, I wouldn't say shame on you, I would just pray for them. And then it would be, all right, we'll turn this around.
Yes.
Don't shame people.
Right.
I don't like the word don't, that's also controlling. Try not to shame people. I changed my vocabulary quick.
You know what? It really is a daily thing of like, okay, sometimes I'll even be driving either to work or home, and I just look over in my passenger seat and I'm just like, all right, we got this today. I'm like, I'm talking to Jesus. So yeah.
Because do you buckle him up?
He buckles me.
All right, I've been asking all of you to make a list. Let's see. Oh, you would love the tomato soup recipe. You bet. I'm going to get it to you, Kathleen. Anybody that wants it, I will actually take it and post it in the comment section here in just a second. What is she talking about? Garden View Care Center. So we had 3 chefs, not 1, not 2, but all 3 from Garden View O'Fallon, Garden View Chesterfield, and then Garden View Doherty Ferry. They were all on our Foodie Friday last Friday, and they made the most amazing food, and it really blew me away because I was like, how many of us have in our mind that nursing home food is bland?
I didn't realize that that's who they were.
Yeah. So they had I'm telling you, it was all Instagram worthy, beautiful food. This gorgeous spring salad with shrimp in it. They had these macadamia and coconut cookies. They had chocolate chunk chip cookies. This baby back rib that was ridiculous.
Wow.
This sauce that he had on it. And then this tomato soup that one of the residents came up with the recipe, and he tested it out with the residents, and they were like, this is amazing. So Garden View, if you have not been in, I highly recommend that you go in, take the tour. GardenViewCares.com is the website, by the way. 3 different locations. I'm talking with someone in my family right now that may end up having to leave the hospital and go in, and is younger. He's only in his 40s, but he just had strokes, and it's crazy. And now he may have to go into a facility. And so you never know when it's your time.
No.
But what you don't want is to need to get in, and you can't. So go take the tour. Put your name on the list. I just keep stressing this to everybody. Put your name on the list. It's a sense of, I'm already on there.
Yes.
Yep, you get it as a
Yeah,
nurse.
I do. Yeah. And again, going back to your question of would you want to know this? Yes, I'm all about, preparedness.
Yep. Yep, instead of reacting.
Yes.
So that's what I would love for you all to do. Again, gardenviewcares.com. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Julie, I need the soup recipe, please. It's amazing how life can change so fast. Absolutely. All of you, thank you so much for watching. Again, 12 o'clock today. I'd love to see you if you are free. Even if you're around the area, maybe you're in Eureka or Pacific or Chesterfield, you're over in the area of maybe St. Albans or Wildwood. Come on by, say hi around lunchtime, even if it's only for a few minutes. I'd love to give you a hug. And again, we've got some of the It's About Time books that I'll be giving away to some lucky viewers that are going to come by for this. We're going to have a lot of fun. Now, tomorrow, if you have any questions for our Lambert Airport director, she will be right here. Yeah.
Okay.
I ran into her at a party, and I'm like, come on the show, because they've been talking about the expansion for the longest time.
Right.
Some people are getting frustrated. Is it ever going to happen? Well, ask Rhonda tomorrow, because she will be right here.
I will.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I'm off this entire week.
Yeah. Yep. Drop comments in, or if you can't watch tomorrow morning, do me a favor and drop a comment in for me, or shoot me an email and let me know what you would like to ask her. So she will be on with us tomorrow. From now until then, have a beautiful day. Tracy, Bridgette, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in just a few hours at the porch in Wildwood. If not, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. From now till then, remember to be kind. God bless.